Right, you need some washed runner beans. You need 2 potatoes. You also need 3 onions. You could use 2 if you want, but I'm using 3 in this video. You need about 10 tomatoes. These are baby plum tomatoes. You could use normal tomatoes, any other kind of tomatoes, but I'm using baby plum for this video. If you don't have that, you can use chopped tomatoes, which you could get from your supermarket. And this is a 400-gram tin, but what you're going to need is probably about 100 grams of this, so about a quarter. So round about that much of the tin. And you're going to need some olive oil. You're also going to need garlic cloves. So the garlic cloves, I've got quite a bit of garlic cloves here, but they're really small. So if you've got large garlic cloves, I will only use 4 or 5 pieces. And you're going to need some ginger paste. You're going to need about 2 tablespoons of salt. And you're also going to need turmeric, which is about 1.5 tablespoons. You need some garam masala, or otherwise known as grounded coriander seeds. You're also going to need red chilli, and you're going to need jeera seeds, or these are actually classed as cumin seeds. And depending on how hot you want the curry, you're going to need some green chilies. So then you move on to the potatoes. You need to chop it in half and quarter the potatoes. So chop it in the middle and then chop it again. And this is the kind of potatoes you're looking at, that kind of size. So you just dice them and you give it a good wash. And when you've washed it, you move on to cutting the tomatoes. So you just cut in the middle and then you cut again in the middle. So kind of do quarter slices, put it sideways and then just give it a good chop. So these could be fine or a bit chunky, that's up to you. And once you've done that, you then just move that to the side. And then you get your garlic cloves. And then you just finely chop your garlic cloves. Or you can leave it a bit chunky, it just depends how intense you want the flavour of the garlic. Then you move on to your onions, so you chop it in the middle and you just put it on its side and slice all the way down as I am showing you. And turn it to its side and then just dice it all the way down. Just mind your fingers when you do this. And then with the runner bean, you just grab it from one corner and you give it a good pull, and it should take out this hard kind of bit at the side of the runner bean. Then you get your knife and run along the middle, just cut the middle, and then you just leave the runner bean on its side and then just chop it up in small pieces. Now once you've done that, remember you do need to wash this beforehand, but once you've done that, just put that to the side. And then you move on to your chilies. Again, just finely chop them.
Right guys, when you prepared everything, you need to put oil in the pan and let it heat up for a few seconds until you add the onions. Then you just add the onions just like I have. And what to do with the onions, just break them up so each layer of onion is separated, just so when you add all the spices it will soak into all the onions and it will just give it each individual piece a nice bit of flavour. After about 15 minutes of cooking these onions on medium heat, when they start going brown just like these, you would add your garlic. So there goes the garlic. Then after about 10 minutes the garlic should be done. So this is all done on medium heat. When the garlic's in though, just keep stirring because you don't want the garlic to stick and you don't want it to burn. So you have to keep stirring it for at least another 10 minutes. So as you can see, it's gone more brown now. So this is about nearly 20 minutes in, I'd say. Now you need to add the ginger. So this is already grinded, but if you've got an actual fresh block, you just need to cut it up into fine pieces. or you could grind it just like I have once you take the skin off. Again, you can buy this in the supermarket from the freezer section. So you just throw the ginger in there and you give it a stir. So once you fried the ginger for about 5 minutes extra, everything should be nice and brown. Make sure it's not burnt. Then you add the tomatoes in there. Once you add the tomatoes, give it a stir for about 10 minutes. Just keep stirring it. And once you've stirred all that, after about 10 minutes, you add all the spices in. So literally you just throw it all in. There you are. And then you give it a good stir. And you stir this for about another, I'd say 6 or 7 minutes. Right, and then you add your potatoes. Let this mix in and stir it for a few minutes again. I'd say probably about another 10 minutes. And then you add the runner beans. As you can see, guys, the colour's starting to come through. This is only about a minute in. So I've added about half a glass of water in here, just so the potatoes soak in a bit more flavour and so on. So you just keep stirring. This is going to need cooking now for probably about another 45 minutes. So just leave that in there. And then once these potatoes are slightly cooked, I'd say about 15-20 minutes, then I'd add this, the runner beans. So when you add the runner beans, you then just mix it all up. And then you just pop the lid on it. So just give it a good mix. Right guys, just pop the lid on it. And then just leave that for about 30 to 45 minutes and just keep coming back to it every 5 minutes and stirring it just so it doesn't stick. Right, after about 25 minutes of cooking, 30 minutes, I'd add the last bit, which is the green chillies, which is here. You could also add, if you wanted to, you could add coriander as well, just to garnish it at the end. I haven't got no coriander, so I can't add it, but yeah, just give that a mix. And again, put the lid back on and cook for about another 20 minutes or so. And then, yeah, just have a look at it. Right guys, so after 45 minutes it's made. And you can garnish it with coriander like I said. A runner bean curry or a runner bean sabji. There you are.